Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to Reddit Aliens. I am John, and as always, thank you so much for being here. Lovely topic today, and one of our favorites. Let's do it again. What's the scariest theory that you know of? Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Quantum immortality. The idea that every time you die, your consciousness shifts to the part of the multiverse where you would have survived. The dark forest theory. The reason why we don't see any evidence of alien life out there is that no one is keen to broadcast themselves with the risk of being detected by more hostile civilizations. This is particularly scary for me because we have been beaming out radio signals into space. Plus, we have a probe out there with a golden disc detailing what we look like and where we are. That time repeats as the universe expands, contracts, and bounces. We live our lives over and over again with billions of years in between each brief instance of consciousness that we are completely unaware of. It's theorized that some neutron stars made of pure and extremely densely packed neutrons can break down into even smaller elementary particles, quarks, and become strange stars, made of strange matter. If a strange star were to collide with another strange star, it could potentially eject bits of itself, strangelets, into space. If one of those strangelets were to hit Earth, it could theoretically infect regular matter and convert the entire planet into strange matter almost instantly, killing everything in the process. It's not confirmed that strange matter would behave this way, but it is certainly a possibility within known physics. Boltzmann brain, or brain in a jar. Not sure if I should count them separately here. Basically, there is no way you can prove you aren't a disembodied brain hallucinating the entire reality. The idea of solipsism. Although this is more of a philosophical idea than a theory, solipsism holds that knowledge of anything outside one's own mind is unsure. The external world and other minds cannot be known and might not exist outside the mind. It's definitely scary to think that you could be the only self-aware thing in the universe. Everybody else you interact with might seem like they are, but you can't prove it. If that were true, you're all alone in this bizarre universe, and everything that you thought was real isn't. Dead-end trips. Cosmology can be disturbing. For instance, I recently learned of dead-end trips. There are some destinations that you shouldn't try for. It's possible to travel so far away from where you started that the expansion of the universe will exceed the speed you were traveling at. The one that scares me the most is that we are the only living beings in the universe, but it's only because everyone else died fighting something that we will eventually face. You know, when you put it like that, that is pretty frightening, kind of like the setup for an interesting movie. The Fermi paradox considers the question of the likelihood of a life evolving elsewhere in the universe. If not, it's incredibly rare, and there's no obvious reasons it should be. Then we should be able to detect it. We can't, so where are they? One proposed answer is the Great Filter, which is a technology or an event that will be encountered by any intelligent civilization that becomes sufficiently advanced and will have the unintended consequence of destroying that civilization. Think nuclear weapons, but with a 100% chance of annihilating all life on Earth. The reason we don't see any of the life forms is that over and over again, they have evolved to the point where they inevitably discovered this technology and promptly destroyed themselves. And sooner or later, so will we. A rogue planet entering our solar system. The planet could go into orbit inside the orbits of the first 3 planets. This would throw off the orbits of all 3 planets. It may also just have a pass through the Oort cloud that results in many of the objects in the Oort cloud being thrown into the inner solar system, which could greatly increase the chance of a world-changing asteroid hitting Earth. The Fermi paradox. The idea that we haven't seen any evidence of extraterrestrial life, yet we know it is almost impossible for there not to be life out there, is very subtly scary to me. What if they just don't want to be found, and are perfectly capable of avoiding detection, and have been just observing us for a while? Not so much a theory, but the idea that a large solar storm, if timed correctly, could knock out electrical systems across the planet. There have been some near misses, and the last time it happened was in the pre-electrical age when it nonetheless fried telegraph lines. But it is almost certainly just a matter of time before it happens again, a solar game of Russian roulette. The idea of vacuum decay could mean a wave traveling at the speed of light, completely undetectable, could hit us and change the basic properties of matter, obliterating us instantly. Stephen Hawking believed that humans via nuclear war will destroy the Earth before any astrological event. Due to the expansion of space and the speed limit of light, there's a theoretical limit preventing us from ever reaching parts of the universe. Even if we started now, or traveled at light speed, some stars are completely impossible to reach, and the number of reachable stars is declining fast. Our far descendants will see absolute darkness in the night sky. There's this theory that claims that the increasing concentration of GHGs in the atmosphere traps more UV radiation, leading to a steady buildup of the average temperature. It might trigger nonlinear effects which have unpredictable consequences. Predictions estimate that it might make the planet very uncomfortable for the next generations. Many people are aware of it, but it has been ignored for centuries. Especially the last part scares the crap out of me. There is a theory that says that your consciousness and you as a person are immortal, that you cannot die no matter what. If you were to die, your consciousness would be transported to another you who hasn't died. Remember some of the times where you almost died? Well, according to this theory, you would have already died during these times. But you have just been transported to another universe where you didn't. This theory kind of scares me, to be honest. It's an interesting approach to consciousness, being as it's something we really don't understand or ever will. Sure, why not? I like the idea of it. Again, would make a good movie. An artificial intelligence that is sufficiently smarter than humanity in general would necessarily become an overlord. We would be helpless to resist because, being so much smarter, it could easily manipulate us into doing whatever it wanted, and we wouldn't even realize. The exponential rate of technological progress. The world will not be able to keep up monitoring, law changes, etc., because change will occur faster and faster, which will lead to a system imbalance that is too quick to respond to, likely may be dystopian in its effects. Exponential technology change has been observed, and it's literally impossible to project where technology will be in 20 years. Vacuum death. Basically, there are two possible states for our universe, true vacuum and false vacuum. If we are true vacuum, it means our universe is stable and we're fine. If we are false vacuum, then at any moment, our universe could shift states somewhere, and a bubble of true vacuum would expand from that point outwards at the speed of light, destroying everything in its path. Existence eradicated as it grows. We would be able to see it coming, but you can't avoid it, and you can't run from it. The true vacuum would destroy the entire existing universe. The theory that if it is all quiet in the woods or anywhere outside, that you should very quickly leave, because it means something is there that you do not want to encounter. I'm not very superstitious these days, nor do I believe in cryptids very much, but I grew up in the hills and hollers of Kentucky, and anytime the birds stopped singing and the insects stopped chirping, I left. I have a very alert and aware pointer breed of dog, and by damn if she gets up and starts pointing at something outside, I get uneasy. I do feel like animals have this innate ability to sense danger, whether it be natural or not, predators, catastrophic natural disasters, etc. It fascinates and terrifies me at the same time. Okay, so it's probably not the scariest one that I know or have heard of, but it's the one that has got me thinking for a few days now. Also, I'm sorry if it doesn't make much sense. I'm really bad at explaining, and English isn't my first language. So, the theory says that, as everyone knows, the universe was created by the Big Bang, and it's constantly expanding, right? Well, this theory says that at some point in the future, the universe will run out of space where to expand, and will instead start reducing itself. It's really contradictory since, well, we don't know what the other thing in the universe is expanding on. Like, is it nothing? Does the universe just turn it into something by simply touching it? It's weird, but I love it. Humans and chimpanzees share 99% of the same DNA. The difference between humans and chimpanzees is insanely dramatic, and it's only a 1% difference. What if we share 99% of the same DNA with an alien race, but to them, we're the chimpanzees? It's only a 1% difference, but that alien race would be far superior than us. The theory that the universe is just a brain of huge creature. The structure of trillions of galaxies is really similar with neuron structure. I think the theory that the Abrahamic God is real is pretty scary. It would mean demons and hell and actual evil are real, and that somehow eternal life would not eventually be its own torture. The reason that you don't hear much about climate change these days is the increasing number of climate scientists that believe we are past any hope of preventing the major cataclysmic events they began warning us about 20 and more years ago. A lot of them have literally just given up. I don't know, I feel like we still hear a decent amount about climate change, at least in America. I probably don't go a day without hearing those words in some capacity via social media or some press release or something. So, you can only do your part because Lord knows large companies seem to talk a lot about helping the environment, but their actions prove otherwise. What do you got? The egg theory of life. Life was created by a god for only one person. When you die, you keep coming back until you've lived every single human life once, in every single year that's ever existed or will ever exist, until humanity becomes extinct. The reason you're born crying is because you're upset that you're dead, and you can still remember your past life and family. But those memories fade and eventually only become fleeting feelings of deja vu. Once you've been reborn, and you've lived every life, you're born for a final time as a god or higher being. We are flesh stock that are populating for the purpose of meme propagation. Our genes are basically setting up a stage for memes to develop and spread in their due time. Not a particularly scary idea, but it shifted my perspective. It may cause someone to feel either insignificant or completely included in the grander scheme of things.